Hello and good morning or afternoon whenever you're watching this, and welcome to the best of 21 series between Chris and DauT. As usual, we are spectating DauT and Chris, DauT playing in red and Chris in green. And you may have noticed already that this map is slightly different to usual. Um, they've started with two town centres and extra villagers and two scouts, and they both had the same start, so they've both got two town centres. And this is actually double Arabia. I believe it's a map you can actually download, and it basically doubles everything up. So it's going to be interesting because obviously there's going to be a lot more multitasking to be able to do. You're going to have to manage two bases from the very start, and obviously that's going to speed things up as well. Um, for instance, you're going to be advancing to the feudal age faster because you started with more villages, you've got twice as many boar, and all that. So it's quite cool actually. I like how it's set up so that you do have two. And I actually quite like these really random maps. Like I think I showed you one of these before with the deathmatch game. But yeah, the random maps, the what they called, the mega randoms, that's the one. They're really fun to watch as well. You may have seen the one with the where you started with the missionary instead of the scout, and they were all conversing each other. That was quite a fun game to watch. So anyway, this is game number 7, and DauT is currently winning 6-2, and let's see who can actually win this one. It's going to be interesting. And I actually really don't like the mini-map, how Chris is in green and the mini-map is green, and you can't actually see where he is very well. That's a bit annoying, but we'll have to make do. So as you can see, both players just kind of like a normal start, but doubled up. So as you can imagine, they're both going to have 4 boar each, and they're both going to have extra wood coming in early on and extra food as well. So we probably see some pretty fast castle age times here. And yeah, so I think really the map's fairly fair. They've both got similar resources nearby, and yeah, we'll just sit tight until they actually get to an interesting part, or once they've advanced to the castle age at the very least. And today I'm actually using for the first time my homemade microphone stand. I decided that I needed I decided that I needed a microphone stand yesterday, and I didn't have one. So I thought, well, what can I do? Because my microphone, I have to hold it to talk into it because it's not like a headset one or anything. Um, I thought, well, I could do the microphone stand, but I really don't know how I could make one, or I can't afford to go and buy one at any rate. So I got a piece of pizza box, and I got some plastic bottle, got some tape and some glue and some scissors, and I've actually constructed my own microphone stand. Um, it's quite cool. It's just sort of like a bottle with the microphone sitting in it, held in there by some cardboard, and a little hole in the bottle for the wire to come out. It looks quite funny actually. It looks very unprofessional to say the least. But yeah, it's quite cool looking at it now, and it means I don't have to hold the microphone in my hand as I commentate, which means that I can actually start to do some playthroughs of custom scenarios and stuff, because it means I have my left hand free to use on the keyboard, so I can type in hotkeys and shiz. So yeah, it's all good. So anyway, as you can see, both players nearly advanced to the feudal age, or DauT is already there. No, DauT is on his way, and probably going to advance straight up to the castle age actually. As you can see, Chris can almost afford it already. Archery ranges I can hear going up, blacksmith going up as well, and it's going to be quite hard to commentate this one I think, because they're going to be so spread out on the map, and it's going to be quite hard to see exactly what's what. I'm just trying to move my screen back a bit so I can get a better view. And now it's going to be interesting to see which units they go for. I've not said this already, they're both playing as Huns, and when you play as Huns, you kind of have the choice between knights, in the castle age at any rate. You have the choice between knights or cavalry archers, and obviously depending on what you go for, depends on your kind of build that you're going to be doing. So if you're going for cavalry archers, you're going to have a lot of gold collectors and a lot of wood collectors. And if you're going for knights, you're going to have a lot of gold collectors and a lot of food collectors. Kind of makes sense, I guess, as knights require food and cavalry archers require wood. I'm just stating the obvious now. As we see over here then, Chris with 4 archery ranges and not so much over at the north of the map. So that indicates to me that he's going to be going for cavalry archers when he gets to the Castle Age. Chris on the other hand with, not Chris, DauT on the other hand with some stables here. In fact, that's 3 stables up here for him and nothing down at the bottom. So they're kind of like swapped over their military bases. This is Chris's military base, and this is DauT's up here. And so DauT just advancing to the Castle Age slightly behind Chris, and as we can hear, the lovely sound of cavalry archers being created, and they're going to go and harass down here by the looks of things. Cavalry archers are fairly effective against spearmen and halberdiers or whatever, because they can micromanage it out the way. Chris managing to pick off a lot of DauT's men down here. And their cavalry archers are nice because they have a nice range and they can just pick off villagers from the town centres without any problems. DauT then with knights, and they're coming up to the top of the map and harassing Chris's gold collectors. He is quick to garrison though, and knights aren't going to be able to do too much because in order to kill off the villagers that are close to the town centre, they're going to have to get close themselves, and that means they're going to be able to be fired upon by arrows and the like. Chris chasing down DauT now. DauT fleeing across the map to this gold camp over here, which is very exposed. There's not really a watchtower or anything to protect this, so Chris is going to be able to pick off villagers fairly easily. Just a couple of volleys of arrows to take out one at a time. And DauT actually losing quite a few villagers here. He's losing villagers over this area of the map down here. Not very well protected at all. And Chris defending quite nicely against DauT's raids with the knights, not losing many villagers at all, and managing to hold him off fairly nicely. So as we can see, DauT going mainly for knights, and Chris going mainly for cavalry archers. Of course, there is an extra advantage for going for cavalry archers as well. Any food collectors that you've got, once you get into the Castle Age, they're going to be able to gather plenty of food, obviously, but because you're not spending that food on military units, that means you're not going to have any problems creating extra villagers from all your new town centres. Often when I play, for instance, because I'm not a pro, when I do advance to the Castle Age, I often run out of food because I'm trying to produce military, which requires food, and I'm trying to produce lots of new villagers from 3 or 4 town centres. So obviously the problem arises that I don't have enough food income, and therefore the military that I'm creating is lacking because I'm spending more resources on getting villagers and building my economy than actually building a military. Whereas if you go for cavalry archers, because they only require gold and wood, you've still got plenty of food to produce villagers at the same time, which means really your economy is going to be stronger overall. If you can deal with the raids, of course, Huns are very well known for being a raiding civilization. They are mainly cavalry based, and most of their units can just get in and kill off loads of villagers that are on farms. As you can see, just getting into the wood camps and killing off any villagers that stray too near. So DauT looking like he's quite far behind. He's 600 down in score, and he's still producing knights, which of course is costing him a lot of food. As you can see, only 40 food for DauT and Chris on 215. Another advantage to not spending so much food on your military is that you're obviously going to be able to advance to the Imperial Age faster, at any rate, because you're going to be able to hit that 1000 food mark faster, as you're not spending it on military units. More scuffles going on, and Chris managing to hold out. His cavalry archers not as effective as knights on a pound for pound basis, but sheer numbers there playing in his advantage. However, looking like he could lose this battle here, slowly being whittled away by DauT's continuing men coming in. And now Chris, not without much of a military at the moment. He's not really got much left military-wise, but he does have a huge economy right now. He's got a lot of villagers collecting food, as you can see. Unfortunately, quite a few of them are garrisoned away in town centres. But once these knights decide to pack up and leave, they're going to be able to carry on collecting food. And surprisingly, really, Chris is gathering a hell of a lot of food, and quite a few idols here, unfortunately. But although he's gathering a lot of food, his military is mainly comprised of cavalry archers. Not to worry though, I'm sure he'll be doing something such as advancing to the Imperial Age fairly soon. And bear in mind, it is only 24 minutes into the game, and DauT with a 74 population, and Chris on 93. So actually looking at the economical stats, as you can see, Chris 24 farmers, 16 lumberjacks, 19 miners, and DauT with 27, 16, 13. So actually not as far apart as I had first imagined. But if we look at the military map, not actually that much military on the map for Chris. And looking at DauT's military map, fair few more units, 8 cavalry, 5 cavalry archers, all the way down to 11, 15 cavalry archers even, and nitty-gritty facts and figures. But it's, at the moment it's kind of even though the scores say otherwise. Chris obviously has a better economy at this stage, and if he can keep his economy safe from raids, then he's definitely going to be able to get slightly ahead. Still though, raids coming in, and DauT able to pick off a few villages with those knights. Those villagers getting blocked there and not able to garrison away into safety, unfortunately for him. However, Chris coming in with Rays of his own, and this base of DauT's down here, not really able to flourish. These villagers keep getting picked off, and there's not really much going on down here. We contrast that to Chris though. Both of his bases are doing fairly well. He's got a lot of farms out. He's spreading out fairly nicely, and both of his bases are fairly well protected by 2 town centres each, and a few cavalry archers travelling around as well. As we can see then here, a university going up, or it was going up until DauT blocked it. It's going up over here now. So as you see, university, which obviously means that he's preparing to advance to the Imperial Age. We'll see that about 30, 32, 33 minutes maybe. And another big scuffle in the middle of the map, and Chris retreating away. But of course, cavalry archers great for micromanaging. You can pull them away and move them around, and they're going to be able to take out units as they retreat and then sort of skirmish backwards and forwards. And Chris turning around and forcing DauT to retreat here, gaining the high ground there, which means he's going to have an attack bonus, and DauT does not stand a chance at this stage with that little force there. Chris suddenly out of nowhere, hell of a lot of cavalry archers, and yeah. Although DauT continuing with raids, and raids can be very effective. They can really delay or slow down your opponent's economy, forcing them to rebuild buildings and have their villagers not really doing much work at all. And now Chris must be about ready to advance to the Imperial Age. He's got his university up, and I'm pretty sure he'll have a monastery up somewhere as well. There he is. Probably got a few relics. Oh no, he's not got any relics yet, but he probably will be doing that soon. More fights going on, and Chris is really sort of gaining the advantage. I think DauT's realised he's going to have to start going for cavalry archers because knights aren't really working for him. As you can see, getting up some more archery ranges, and we didn't even see them get to the Imperial Age there, unfortunately. DauT resigning. I don't know whether that's from frustration or looking at the scores, seeing how far ahead Chris is, but Chris definitely managed to fend off DauT's raids there, and therefore gaining the upper hand with the economy, and overall having a stronger army and managing to take the game. So really, I think that game was lost for DauT when he decided to build knights from the start. Obviously, his economy wasn't able to flourish as well due to the fact that he wasn't able to get out as many villagers. In fact, it didn't even look like he had that many town centres. Yeah, DauT was only on 3 town centres at the end of the game, and Chris was on 4, so Chris clearly had an economical advantage throughout. As we can see, Chris at the end there with nearly 100 villagers already. So unfortunately for DauT, that means it is 4-3 to him, and Chris is once again catching up and might be able to bring it level pegging soon. We'll have to see in game 8 of this best of 4, best of 21 series between Chris and DauT. So anyway, once again, thank you very much for watching. I've been Zach. I'll see you next time.